Forget it, we don't have it.
So
We can't just leave her in jail.
so basically, what we got going on tonight, if I'm correct, you made the assertion that you believe freedom doesn't exist. You don't believe in freedom.
Yeah, the concept of freedom. The concept of freedom. Yeah.
Concept of freedom. All right, so before we even get into that, can we agree that freedom is a noun, which means the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint? Can we agree
That's a fact. No, that's a fact. That's the definition. I'm jacking that. That's a part of what I don't believe.
I got you. All right, cool. So now, I'm going to ask you, when you say you don't believe in freedom, do you mean that nothing we do is truly chosen? Do you believe that choices exist but are meaningless? Or do you believe that the systems around us make absolute freedom impossible?
All right, so boom. All right, so look. All right, so boom. All right, as far as freedom, right? All right, so like, right? It's unobtainable. So right, so I believe that freedom is unobtainable. You can't be free because you live in a society with other people. So when your actions affect somebody else, so it's impossible for you to do something without your actions affecting somebody else. So you could never be free.
Everyone has their own room.
All right.
And you're welcome to bring personal items from home.
Break that down for me one more time so I can all the way understand.
All right, so let's go like this. Let's go like this, right? Boom. You want to be free. You go, boom. I'm going out in the world and I'm going to do as I please, as I want, because I'm autonomous. I'm my own person. You go out and you go into the army. It's honorable. Nobody got a problem with that. You feel what I'm saying? But now you go into the army and God forbid something bad happens. That affects your mother. So even though it was free, you did what you wanted to do. You thought that you did it without affecting nobody else, but your actions affected your mother. Your actions affected your wife if you married. Your actions affected somebody.
I can agree that your actions would affect somebody. However, that's the effect, not the cause. The cause of that effect was freedom. And those people are free to do with whatever those emotions, feelings, or such as they come.
That's why it's a trick. That's why it's a trick. You got assumed free will, right? You think you can do what you want, but the reality of the fact is you have a smart choice and you have an unsmart choice. Now, sometimes it's not as black and white as it seems, right? So right? So because it's not as black and white as it seems, right? So take that situation in instance. It seems like you're doing the right thing. You want to go out, put your legacy out in the world, but still in all, what you're doing has an adverse effect on someone.
I'm not disagreeing with that, right? What I'm saying, though, is when you say right or wrong, right, or adverse effect is the correct word, because you're not really saying whether it's right or wrong. You're just saying that something is happening.
Right? Yeah, that's what I said. You can't really say if it's right or wrong. That's the thing. That's the gray area. Yeah.
That right and wrong is societal. So since that's not like really an absolute, I can't really use that when I'm measuring if freedom exists or not. Now, whether or not freedom in its absoluteness is being practiced is another question. Whether or not the perception or common perception of freedom can be attained or not, that's not in question. The question is do you believe in freedom?
It has to exist.
All right, and in the definition of freedom, right? The power, which can we agree that when they say the word power here, they're using it as the word ability?
Yeah.
The power or right to act, to speak, or think. So they're using the word power as ability. We could agree that definitely, without even words, we have abilities. If you take away any words, those abilities still exist. Even if ability, you understand?
That's a fact.
Rights are something that society makes up. So we can X that out the equation. We don't have to talk about the ability or the right to act, speak, or think, because a right is made up. So really, freedom, the ability to act, speak, or think. One may be able to restrict your actions, restrict what you say, but can they restrict what you think? The fact that you can even debate the existence of freedom is you exercising.
It's not a regular thing. Yesterday was my birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, but my thing is this, right? So if freedom exists, I need an example of when it happened. So like, I need to know of the person. No, but I need to know the person that walked Earth that was free. See, this is so let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean.
Absolute freedom. It's not that you don't believe freedom exists. You don't believe that there's anybody walking the earth or that we're contained in a system that would support absolute freedom. That sounds like what you're trying to say.
No, what I'm saying is like, right, so when you go to ability, everybody has the ability to speak. So that's not freedom, that's just natural. Right? So now when you say when you say like, yo, you got free speech, right? You got the right. You don't got free speech in America. If you say the wrong thing, your ass will be grass. In some way, you will face. Yeah, but now because there's a repercussion, you're not free to say what you want.
I disagree. I think two things could be true. I believe that you could be free to say what you want, and there can also be repercussions.
The repercussions is what takes away the freedom. If it's free, I should be able to say it and nothing's going to happen at all, period.
How about this, though? All right, so you're still free to do it. Your freedom doesn't stop.
No, you have free will. Free will and freedom are two different things. Like, free will is you got the ability to do something. So, like, as long as you can do it.
Freedom, we just agreed that the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants is freedom. That's literally the definition.
So you leaving out the second part. Hold on. It's the second part.
Without, as one wants, without hindrance or restraint.
Because that's important. Because the repercussions is the hindrance or the restraint. That is the hindrance or the restraint. No, as long as there's repercussions.
That's the effect. It doesn't actually hinder you from speaking, thinking, or acting. It's the repercussion of.
So that's the hindrance. So if you got a job, right? If you got a job, like they could hinder you from saying things that you might want to say about. Let's say you work at when I was working at Taco Bell's, like I had to say, yo, I'm not going to talk about Taco Bell on social media.
Right. What? But you could still talk about them.
Yeah, but I would face repercussions.
The threat of repercussion does not negate the fact that you still have the freedom to do such.
Sometimes the repercussions is vital.
Sometimes it is, but a key thing to freedom means is probably life too, right? So if they end the life, then it's nothing to be free or not free. So you die free at that point. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So now, right? So all right. So let me say what I mean about the term freedom. Let me go with specific of freedom, right? So like, all right. So boom, you have a kid in his house, right? In his mind, right? All right. So I'm gonna take it like this, right? So as a kid, when I was a kid, like the parents was tyrannical. Like, right? It's like, yo, my rules or nothing, right?
Right.
It made you think that when you're grown, you can make up the rules and do as you please. So, like, right, I'm talking about freedom and society in that terms, right? It's like you can go out your house technically and do as you please, but you're gonna have a hard fucking time, buddy. Like it's a structure going on. So, like, right, if you go outside of the structure, you are free to do so. But you will face the fucking penalties. So therefore, it's a thought in the process like, yo, I can be free when I leave my house. But you can't. You're still confined.
I'll say this, though. Control doesn't erase freedom. It defines the arena where it's tested.
As long as there's power, you can never be free.
Understand what I just said, right? All right. I'm going to break it down for you in 3 questions.
I know what you're saying. You saying this. You saying that people can make the rules, but it's on you if you going to follow them or not.
It's deeper than that. All right. If the system controls everything, how did you recognize the control? The system didn't give you that awareness. It came from observation. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. That's a fact.
I gotta go.
Hold on. So isn't awareness of control itself a form of freedom?
Thank you.
You can't fight a prison that you didn't perceive.
So now this is the ill shit. right? Now this is where the trick comes in. See, it's a trick, right?
All right.
With the so right, all right. So in order to understand the system, you gotta be mentally prepared, right? To show these lames got you in a system where they dictate to you your whole life. So right, so it just so happened I just happen to be rebellious my whole life. Like I always just went against the grain. So in the course of me going against the grain and trying to find myself, it was like, hold on, I wasn't even fucking wrong. Like none of that shit even exists. So it's like, hold on, all right, wait a minute. And now I'm looking at it like, yo, maybe I'm trying to justify myself. So I had to look at it unobjectively and say, nah, this shit is really a trick. Like, yo, this shit, like this, like I'm not making this shit up. This shit is really a trick.
What they present now, when you speaking it from that essence, right? What they present to us and feed to us as freedom is not anything that we could attain. But what we just spoke about in the actual definition of freedom, we practice it every day. It's just not that beautiful picture that everybody thinks. So when people say they want freedom, they don't really want that. They think they want that. They want the picture that was painted to them of freedom. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of.
Yeah, the hope. The carrot in front of the mule. That's how they get you. What is called the American dream. You gonna go chase that American dream all you want. They're gonna have your ass on a job. Right. A cog in the machine. Trying to figure it out. Mad at everybody else.
Don DeMarco. Yo, listen. Listen. But I say that to say this. Just because, again, control does not erase freedom. It defines the arena where it's tested. And when I say that, I mean, correct. Says he is. We can't attain freedom the way that they painted it to us. However, they're aware that freedom exists and they use it all the time. We use it and they tell us it doesn't. It's not real. They tell us it's one thing and it's not that. We use freedom. We practice freedom. Just questioning if freedom exists is freedom in itself. You got the money? By definition. You understand what I'm saying? What we need to start doing is trying to paint the picture to people of what freedom actually is, what it actually entails, and is that what we really want?
But it's a such thing because it's a such thing as talk is cheap. So like it's easy to say things. So like it's easy to have the freedom of speech to an extent because your speech could cause people to do things. So right, and if you rile people up, they coming to get you. And who is they? I don't know.
Inciting violence. They're gonna say you incited a riot. They're going to say you incited something. I know what they're going to say. I know what they're going to say. But definitionally, they did not hinder your freedom to speak nor to think. Even if they take your mouth and hinder you, because see the main part, it says the right to act, speak, or think. Not act, speak, and think. So if you feel one of those requirements, you're exercising freedom by definition.
Why was she picking up?
Like, yeah, but you know how it feels? It feels like this, right? When I was a kid, like my aunt used to talk mad shit, and I'll be saying shit mad back, but mad low as I'm walking off, and she don't really hear me. So like, right? So yeah, I got my shit off, but if she ever heard me, she'll be like, what you say? I'm like, I didn't say nothing. So it's like, really, was I free? Was it free?
Now, what you're saying is emotionally sound. What you're saying is emotionally sound, and I understand where you coming from. You feel me? When you using emotional logic, like as far as like, because there's different things to understand in the world. There's the physical reality, there's what's objective, and then there's also what you feel, which is still an experience. The beautiful part of human experience, which makes everybody different. You feel what I'm saying? So emotionally, I feel where you coming from. I went through some similar experiences. You feel me? So it's like, cool. I understand that. But when we talking about definitionally what freedom is, you still exercised it. Even by whispering it. They couldn't stop you from whispering it. They couldn't stop you from thinking it. So to believe it doesn't exist, I can't agree with that. To believe that it's not what they paint it to be, I'm all the way with you.
Yeah, but to be free to say what you want is like, it stopped. I didn't really get to say what I wanted. Like I said, like right, to say what you want, if you look at, it's a desired effect. So right, it's cool if I say like, yo, if I be like, yo, if I'm sitting in my house, right, just me by myself, and I'm like, yo, I hate fucking, and I say a certain type of fucking thing, like whatever it is, I hate these type of people, or I hate this thing right here. Nobody cares because I'm in my house. So, right, if you nobody and you say what you want to say, nobody cares because they feel like you're nobody. But if you have the attention of somebody and that somebody is listening, then it now, and they don't like what you say, it now has an adverse effect. And that's what brings in the second part of the definition. Yeah, you're free to say what you want, but that second part of the definition is important because it's like, yo, listen, without hindrance, there's a hindrance there. You can say what you want, but the hindrance is somebody will now come and fucking penalize you for it.
And this is where me and you disagree, because you believe that the hindrance is part of that. I believe that it comes afterward. The repercussion comes afterwards. It does not actually hinder while it's going on. While somebody's speaking, it doesn't hinder them until they physically stop that person. And even then, you can't stop that person from thinking unless you make them unconscious or something. You understand what I'm saying?
But when you say it like that, you got to remember some people are stupid. Some people don't even know what they be saying. So to say that people have the right to say what they want, some people say things and don't even mean what they say.
Hold on, like, we can argue, if we're gonna go down that route, we can argue that the brain sends signals to your body before you even are consciously aware of it. So do you even have free will, and do you even make the choice, or does your body make the choice?
That's what I'm saying. Free will is important in the conversation because it's a part of freedom. It's in the second definition. So they break it down when they say free will. They say that the freedom in a philosophical sense, and freedom in a sense like we talk about, like liberty. Like we have the liberty to do as you please and do what you want and live how you want. Now, autonomy.
A liberty can't have any type of stipulations on it, and nobody could give it to you. So if they try and give you a liberty, then you don't have it. A liberty is just another word for freedom.
Freedom. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's the context we speaking in. We're speaking in the context of liberty, like freedom, like to do as you want. But free will comes before that. So so boom.
You have the ability to do whatever you have the ability to do.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But now rules are placed. So now it goes like, yo, you got the freedom to sell crack, but you don't because somebody will take your freedom from you. So it's like you can't sell crack. It's like, yo, technically you can if you want to.
They could attempt. You still have the chance to get away.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the risk that you choosing to take when you walk down that path. You had the freedom to walk down that path. The freedom allows you to get your freedom taken away.
Yeah, but why it's not freedom is because you got to do it covertly.
Because like I said, we agreed that freedom is actions, speaking, or thinking. The power or right to act, speak, or think. Which means they don't all have to happen simultaneously. Even if they lock you up for selling crack, they can't stop you from thinking.
Thank you.
So you still have freedom, and you can still exercise freedom by definition. Now, what you're explaining is a perception of freedom. And I could understand that. In your perception of freedom, no.
Yes.
I don't think that's attainable.
But I'm going by the definition. I'm going by the second part of the definition, which makes it whole.
How can somebody go into jail restrain them from thinking?
It's not about thinking. Remember, you keep saying or. You keep so hold on. You saying think, act, or speak. So we talk about the actions. I'm not talking about their thoughts. So their actions directly cannot be free because but that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Of course, I'm not disputing that. I'm not refuting that. That is definitely a part. It's not the whole of freedom. See, when it says or, if it had said to act, speak, and think, that would mean all three things would have to happen in conjunction for freedom to exist. This says act, speak, or think. The or means that these things can happen separate of each other, and as long as one qualification is met, freedom is occurring.
But you leaving out the second part of the definition.
I'm not.
Without hindrance. So once you add that, so your actions are being hindered. Your actions are being hindered by the consequence. The speech that if you think about it, right? If you sit there right now, so if you sit there, right, let me show you. I'm this person right here.
If you think about it, which you have the freedom to do in any circumstance.
But look, let me show you what that looks like. I'm this person right here, right? So boom, I'm sitting in jail on my 3rd felony for selling drugs. I'm talking to a nigga in the yard. He like, yo, Grants, what you doing when you go home? I'm going to sell crack. Fuck is you talking about? So like, yeah, I had the freedom to think about it, but do you know how stupid I sounded? So that's what I meant when I said sometimes people say dumb things. So it's not smart. It's not a wise decision. So even if I have the freedom to do it, I'm a fool. So
that's fine. We're not disputing that. Wise and free are 2 separate things. We debating. You made the assertion to me that you don't believe in freedom. I'm just explaining to you that it exists, regardless if they hinder your actions or your speech, because they can't hinder your thoughts unless they kill you. And once you're dead, you can't be alive anyway. If you're not alive, you're not free. You have to live to be free.
But that's my whole point. That's why you don't have freedom.
You do in the mind when you think, because like I said, the or is the main part of it. I understand you're highlighting the hindrance or restraint, but you can only hinder or restrain somebody's actions or their words, not their thoughts.
Yeah, but the thing, but when you just think about something, it doesn't cause anything. So nobody cares. So it's like, yo, if you free to say, yo, you hate Marty Grahams in your head, in your house, like, I don't care. But once you say it's out loud to somebody else, it now becomes a threat to me. So now I have to act. So you're not free to say that because it's going to cause an action, whatever the action may be. So it goes, but if your actions is, yo, I hate Marty Graham, so now I'm going to act on my hate for Marty Graham, I have to act. So when you just...
They have the freedom to choose all 3 regardless of what your reaction is.
That's a fact. So now some people, so now we got to go back to power, right? Power limits freedom. So, right, it depends on who's saying what to who. So, like, some people you can't say nothing about. And then it's like, yo, listen, it's like, what you mean I can't say nothing? You just can't talk about them, like, at all. What you mean? It's like, yo, technically you can. You could think about it. But it's like, you're not free. But you're not free to do it as you please. That's what freedom is. I want to do what I want as I please. And, like, what? And nobody better not.
But you, just because you say nobody better not, they have the freedom to also better do. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah,
just the fact that a consequence exists doesn't strip away the freedom that exists as well. There's still a choice
to do. Now you free to do.
It may not be a smart choice, but it is a choice indeed, and they have the freedom to pick. So right then and there, you can't tell me freedom doesn't exist. They have the freedom to pick.
Yeah, but you just got free will. That's all you have. Like, people are actions. So if you don't do what you say, then you're not free. You could think about what you want. It's like, yeah, all right, nobody really cares about what you think. You have the freedom to think about what you want. That's a fact. You even have the freedom to say what you please to an extent, right? But once your actions go, and like niggas is not jacking your actions, your freedom is now hindered. So you're free. You got freedom to an extent. You have freedom in yourself and autonomy, which is cool.
Do you think your freedom was hindered, or do you think that the other person's freedom was just more dominant?
That's what it's about. Power. That's a fact. It's about power.
So that's natural. It's not hindering nobody's freedom. They still have the freedom to do it. They have the freedom.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, you got free will. That's a fact. You got free will. You could do and say as you want.
It might not be smart. It might not be smart.
That's a fact.
A lot of people do a lot of things that ain't smart, but they free to do it.
That's a fact.
And that's my point. You can't tell me you don't believe in freedom when it exists. I can prove it exists. You telling me
because I just believe in actions.
Your idea of what
yeah. No. I just believe in actions. I believe in, like, so right. So all right, let me show you. Right, when I was, listen. You don't know what you don't know. Like, knowledge is mad important. Right. So if you don't know something, like, your freedom could be hindered by ignorance. A person could hinder your freedom by just because you don't know shit. You'll be sitting there a slave. A slave to somebody else's will because you just don't know. Some simple shit. A motherfucker have you doing some dumb shit and you just don't know the opposite. Like, word, I could have did that this whole time. And the motherfucker sitting there playing you. So it's like, Like,
ignorance of choice doesn't negate the fact that the choice exists.
No. I was just using that as an example. Like, know what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Even things can exist without being perceived. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to perceive something for it to exist in the word.
Yeah, but I was using it in the power dynamics, like, because people will probably think that because somebody is bigger than you, that they're bullying you or something, and that means power. So somebody can have power over you because you have the lack of knowledge. And they got the knowledge, and then they're just manipulating you.
Right.
That happens daily. So, I didn't want to say that.
It's not even always on purpose. It's not even always intentional.
Oh, you're mad?
Some people mislead and misguide by accident.
That was misled. That's a fact. The blind lead the blind. Yo, the blind lead the fucking blind.
Yeah, that's why I got these glasses on, man. I'm trying to get them to see through the lens, bro. And like I said, on a societal level, in the way that society as a whole interprets freedom, I wholeheartedly agree with you, bro. But this is what I'm trying to do. You feel me? But I'm trying to get people to understand that there's roots to these words, and these words have power and meaning. So when we say that, we gotta clarify that applies in this society. Freedom does exist, and we express it every day, just not in the way they paint it to be. So we gotta flip the switch to: do we want freedom, or do we want power, or do we want X, Y, or Z? You understand?
What they said: life, love, and liberty. Yeah. I hear you get caught up in that shit if you want.
You hear me?
Hey, yo, listen. Yo, I was telling Swag, I said, motherfuckers, listen, niggas got this shit twisted. Motherfuckers call the forefathers of America patriots. You don't even know them niggas was gangsters. And them niggas wasn't jacking nothing. And if you think that they had the people, that they was looking to enslave rights in mind to make you free, to overthrow them. That was all worrying. They was playing games.
They wrote it. They wrote it in there. Come on, man.
They was playing all types of games.
They ain't even hide it. That's the crazy part. And that's why I say I wholeheartedly agree with you on society's version of freedom. You just told me where it come from. We know it's not a secret. That shit is unattainable, especially for us. But the actual root, initially what freedom is, we practice it. And if we practiced it a little bit more, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. We can't have the freedom they tell us. We got the freedom we give ourselves that was given to us when we was born.
But you gotta remember this. Most people education is on a curriculum. Yo, their education stops at that curriculum. They don't go to look to see nothing else. They don't go to try to figure nothing else out. When you have a conversation with most people, it's a block there. And you be sitting there looking like, yeah, but we passed that already. And they can't get past certain parts. And you be looking like
you all right?
Nah, because people, niggas' education was on a curriculum to keep you a slave. Like a nigga know, you gotta really understand that. It's like, yo, listen, why do you think the school system is so invested? Why would they send CPS to your crib if you don't send your kids to school? Like, they give a fuck.
Right.
Fuck if you send your kids to school or not.
You know what they coming there for.
No, we want to make sure you get your kids over here so we can control their fucking minds. The audacity in you to keep them home and try to control their minds more than us. Yo, they on some bullshit. Yo, they on some bullshit.
They try and indoctrinate, and that's
a fact.
You know, I encourage everybody when they hear people say things, look up the definition, find out what the word means. And even then, it can't stop there because English only been around for so long. We got to look up where does this word come from.
That's a fact, the etymology.
You understand what I'm saying? But that comes later. We got to start teaching people how to think. The only reason it's not that we don't think, is that some of us don't know how to think.
It's getting worse. Yo, it's getting worse. If you go and like just go on TikTok or one of your social medias, it's a group of teachers all over social media talk about how this new generation is horrible in reading. They can't write in cursive, let alone read cursive. Like, I'm like, that's how you think. You learn how to think by reading. If you don't know how to read, you don't know how to think. If they got y'all in there and they passing these kids without knowing how to read on the grade level that they supposed to be on, they are about to have a whole nation of non-thinking drones.
Yep.
Yo, this shit about to get wicked. Yo, this shit is about to be wicked.
The storm is coming.
Yo, they about to bring sweatshops back. They don't even know. It's like, yo, listen, we can hire AI. So either you will work for these pennies or not. Yo, yo, it's about to get real crazy. I encourage kids to get a skill now. Get a skill now.
Get a trade or learn how to develop AI. You better get into coding or something. If you ain't gonna learn to trade with your hands, you better get into coding. And that's only gonna last until the AI can code better than humans, which it already fake can't. So I'd advise you get a trade. You better learn how to plumb. You better, you heard?
Some shit that they can't replace you on.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Plumbing. What's that? Gardening.
Electrical, HVAC.
That's a fact.
Masonry, things like that.
Because you will be expendable and extinct.
And even then, you still good for maybe 20, 30 years till they figure out how to do that.
All these non-essential jobs, these menial, welcome to McDonald's, may I take your orders, and all that dumb shit is getting replaced. You will be a DoorDash deliverer.
The last 3 Wendy's I pull up to the drive-thru, AI took my order.
Yeah. Oh no, it's about to get nasty. Yo, you heard about what's going on in Jamaica?
What's going on with it?
So like Kingston had the first whole smart city. Yo, listen, it was a smart city in Kingston. Notice I said was.
Yeah.
Yo, why is it a hurricane over there all of a sudden? Yo, hold on. Yo, I want to get the information first. Yo, they found gas over there. Yo, they said, the hurricane that hit Jamaica was going straight and bust the right. Yo, they said that shit bust the right to hit Jamaica like once. I'm like, yeah, the hurricane is going this way. Hold on, wait. They said the government did that. Like America did that. Like, listen, America did that. Like, America got the technology to create storms. Like, yo, they said, I don't know. I don't got enough information. I shouldn't be on here saying it because I don't got the information to give people. I'm just over here spitting what I heard. Like, this is some shit I totally heard.
That's wild. If that was to be true, that would be crazy. I don't doubt the possibility.
Yo, listen. They keep saying that these clouds is fake. Like, a lot of these clouds in the sky is fake. I don't know. I'm not a cloud motherfucker.
Right. I don't doubt the possibility. I can't say for sure that that's what it is, but I'm not going to sit up here and doubt the possibility either.
Yo, I had a dude stop me in the middle of the street while I was walking, and he just pointed up, and he pointed at the differences of the clouds. I was mad because I really didn't know what he was talking about. I remember like Nimbo Stratus and shit like that from back in the days when I was in school, but I don't remember that shit no more. So when he's showing me, he like, look, see that? That's not a real cloud. Clouds don't look like that. And he's like, look at that. That's a cloud. And I'm like, so what is that? He said, huh? And then he just walked off. And I'm like, yo, what was that then? What are you trying to say? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what do you mean? Like, what is it, smog? Like, what the fuck is that? They poisoning us? What the fuck is going on? He ain't want to tell me. He just spent off.
That's something I'm going to look into. I'm going to look into that, man. I'm going to look into that. See what's going on. There got to be some facts behind it.
Then lo and behold, I've seen people on social media putting their prayer hands up for Jamaica. And I'm like, why the fuck they doing that? What the fuck is going on in Jamaica?
Yeah, I'm about to research that later today. What was going on over there? Because it either happened or it didn't.
I'm about to send you this shit. Hold on, let me see. I think it's in my story. I'm about to send you this shit right now. Yep, it is. I got this shit in my story. I just sent it to you.
All right, that's a bet. I'm going to tap in with that later, man.
All right, bet. Let me wrap this shit up because this shit 34 minutes already. So this shit got to edit. And then niggas going to post it. I'm going to post it immediately. You need me to send it to you or you got it?
I don't know.
All right, so just let me know and then we'll figure it out.
All right, no doubt.
All right, copy. 1. That was